Then will I marry Warwick's youngest daughter. What? Though I killed her husband and her father, the readiest way to make a wench amends is to become her husband and her father. And yet I race before my horse to market. Clarence still breathes, King Edward still lives and reigns. When they are gone, then must I count my gains.
Set down. Set down your honorable load. If honor may be shrouded in a hearse, whilst I a while obsequiously lament the untimely fall of virtuous Lancaster. Poor key-cold figure of a holy king, pale ashes of the house of Lancaster, the bloodless remnant of that royal blood. Be it lawful that I invocate thy ghost to hear the lamentations of poor Anne, wife to thy Edward, to thy slaughtered son, stabbed by the self-same hand that made these wounds. Lo, in these windows that let forth thy life, I pour the helpless balm of my poor eyes. O cursed be the hand that made these holes. Cursed the heart that had the heart to do it. Cursed the blood that let this blood from hence. More direful hepatide, that hated wretch that makes us wretched by the death of thee, than I could wish to wolves, to spiders, toads, or any creeping venom thing that lives. If ever he have child, abortive be it, prodigious and untimely brought to light, whose ugly and unnatural aspect may fright the hopeful mother at the view, and that be heir to his unhappiness. If ever he have wife, let her be made more miserable by the death of him than I am made by my young lord and thee. Come, now towards Chertsey, with your holy load, taken from Paul's to be interred there.
Stay you that bear the corpse and set it down.
What black magician conjures up this fiend to stop devoted charitable deeds?
Villains, set down the corpse, or by St. Paul, I'll make a corpse of him that disobeys.
My lord, stand back and let the coffin pass.
Unmannered dog, stand thou when I command.
What? Do you tremble? Are you all afraid? Alas, I blame you not, for you are mortal, and mortal eyes cannot endure the devil. Avaunt, thou dreadful minister of hell. Thou hadst but power over his mortal body. His soul thou canst not have. Therefore be gone.
Sweet saint, for charity be not so cursed.
Foul devil, for God's sakes, hence, and trouble us not. For thou hast made the happy earth thy hell, filled it with cursing cries and deep exclaims. If thou delight to view thy heinous deeds, behold this pattern of thy butcheries. Oh, gentlemen, see dead Henry's wounds. Open their congealed mouths and bleed afresh. Blush. Blush, thou lump of foul deformity, for 'tis thy presence that exhales this blood. From cold and empty veins where no blood dwells, thy deeds, inhuman and unnatural, provokes this deluge most unnatural. O God, which this blood made, revenge his death. O earth, which this blood brings, revenge his death. Either heaven with lightning strike the murderer dead, or earth gape open wide and eat him quick, as thou dost swallow this good king's blood, which his hell-governed arm hath butchered.
Lady, you know no rules of charity, which renders good for bad, blessings for curses.
Villain, thou knowest nor law of God nor man, no beast so fierce but knows some touch of pity.
But I know none, and therefore am no beast.
A wonderful when devils tell the truth.
More wonderful when angels are so angry. Vouchsafe divine perfection of a woman, of these supposed crimes to give me leave, but to excuse myself.
Vouchsafe diffused infection of a man, of these known evils, but by circumstance to give thee leave, to curse thy cursed self.
Fairer than tongue can name thee, let me have some patient leisure to excuse myself.
Fouler than heart can think thee. Thou canst make no excuse current, but to hang thyself.
By such despair I should accuse myself.
And by despairing shalt thou be excused for doing worthy vengeance on thyself, that didst unworthy slaughter upon others,
Say that I slew them not.
and say they were not slain, but dead they are, a devilish slave by thee.
I did not kill your husband.
Why then he is alive.
Nay, he is dead and slain by Edward's hands.
Thou foul throat, thou liest. Queen Margaret saw thy murderous falchion smoking in his blood, the which thou once didst bend against her breast, but that thy brothers beat aside the point.
I was provoked by her slanderous tongue, which laid their guilt on my guiltless shoulders.
Thou wast provoked by thy bloody mind, that never dreams on aught but butcheries. Didst thou not kill this king?
I grant you.
Dost grant me, hedgehog? Then God grant me too. Thou mayst be damned for that wicked deed. For he was gentle, mild, and virtuous.
The better for the King of heaven that hath him.
He is in heaven, where thou shalt never come.
Then let him thank me, that hope to send him thither, for he was fitter for that place than earth.
And thou unfit for any place but hell,
Yes, one place else, if you will hear me name it.
some dungeon.
My bedchamber.
Ill rest betide, the chamber where thou liest.
So will it, madam, till I lie with thee.
I hope so.
I know so. Gentle Lady Anne, to leave this keen encounter of our wits and fall something into a slower method is not the causer of the untimely deaths of these Plantagenets, Henry and Edward, as much to blame as the executioner.
Thou wast the cause, and most accursed effect.
Thy beauty was the cause of that effect, thy beauty that did haunt me in my sleep to undertake the death of all the world, that I might live 1 hour in your sweet bosom.
If I thought that, I tell thee, homicide, these nails should rend that beauty from my cheeks.
These eyes could ne'er endure that beauty's wreck. You should not blemish it if I stood by. As all the world is cheered by the sun, as I by that, it is my day, my life.
Black night o'ershade thy day, and death thy life.
Do not curse yourself, fair creature, thou art both.
I would to be revenged on thee.
'Tis a quarrel most unnatural, to be revenged on him that loveth thee.
It is a quarrel just and reasonable, to be revenged on him that killed my husband.
He that bereft thee, lady, of thy husband, did it to help thee to a better husband.
His better doth not breathe upon the
He
earth.
lives that loves thee better than he could.
Name him.
Plantagenet,
Why, that was he.
the self-same name, but one of better nature.
Where is he?
Here. Why dost thou spit at me?
Would it were mortal poison for thy sake.
Never came poison from so sweet a place.
Never hung poison on a fouler toad. Out of my sight, that does infect mine eyes.
Thine eyes, sweet lady, have infected mine.
Would they were basilisks to strike thee dead.
I would they were, for now, that I might die at once, for now they kill me with a living death. Those eyes of thine from mine have drawn salt tears, shamed their aspect with store of childish drops. These eyes which never shed remorse, I never suit to friend nor enemy. My lip can never learn sweet smoothing word. But now thy beauty proposes my fee, my heart sues and prompts my tongue to speech. Teach not thy lip such scorn, for it was made for kissing, lady, not for such contempt. But if thy revengeful heart cannot forgive, lo, I lend thee this sharp pointed sword, which if thou please, to hide in this true breast, and let forth the soul that abhorreth thee, I lay naked to the deadly stroke, and beg the death upon my knee. Nay, do not pause. For I did kill King Edward, but 'twas thy beauty that provoked me. Nay, dispatched, 'twas I that stabbed young Edward, but 'twas thy heavenly face that sent me on. Take up the sword again, or take up me.
Arise, dissembler. Though I wish thy death, I will not be thy executioner.
Then bid me kill myself, and I will do it.
I have already.
That was in thy rage. Speak it again, and even with the word, this hand, which for thy love did kill thy love, will for thy love kill a far truer love. To both their deaths thou shalt be accessory.
I would I knew thy heart.
Disfigured in my tongue,
I fear me both are false.
then never man was true.
Oh, I'll put up your sword.
And say my peace is made.
That shalt thou know hereafter.
Shall I live in hope
All men, I hope, live so.
to take this ring?
To take is not to give.
Look, how my ring encompasseth thy finger. Even so, thy breast encloseth my poor heart, where both of them, for both of them are thine. And if your poor devoted servant may but beg one favor at thy gracious hand, thou dost confirm his happiness forever.
What is it?
That if it may please you to leave these sad designs for him that hath most cause to be a mourner, and repair you presently at Crosby House, where after I, at Churchy's monastery, interred this noble king and wet his grave with my repentant tears, I will with all expedient duty see you. For divers unknown reasons, I do beseech you grant me this boon.
With all my heart, and much it joys me too, to see you are become so penitent.
Bid me farewell.
'Tis more than you deserve. But since you teach me how to flatter you, imagine I have said farewell already.
Towards Chertsey, noble lord.
No, to Whitefriars. There attend my coming. Was ever woman in this human wood? Was ever woman in this human one? I'll have her, but I will not keep her long. But I, that killed her husband and her father, to take her in her heart's extremest hate, curses in her mouth, tears in her eyes, the bleeding witness of my hatred by, having God, her conscience, and all these bars against me, and I, no friends to back my suit withal, but the plain devil and dissembling looks, and yet to win her, all the world to nothing. Ah! Ah! Has she forgot already that brave Prince Edward, her lord, whom I some 6 months stabbed in my angry mood at Tewkesbury? Will she abase her eyes on me thus, and makes her widow to a woeful bed? On me that halts, and am misshapen thus? I do mistake my person all this while. Upon my life she finds, though I cannot myself, to be a marvelous, proper man. Albeit charges for a looking glass, and entertain a score or two of tailors to study fashions to adorn my body. Since I am crept in favor with myself, I'll maintain it with little cost. But first, I'll turn yon gentleman in his grave, and then return lamenting to my love. Shine out, fair sun, till I have bought a glass that I may see my shadow as I pass. I? Marry? May she?
What marry may she?
What marry may she? Marry with a king, a bachelor, and a handsome stripling too. I wish your grandam had a worser man.
My lord of Gloucester, I have too long borne these blunt upbraidings and these bitter scoffs. By heaven, I will acquaint his majesty of these gross taunts which oft I have endured. I had rather be a country servant maid than a great queen with this condition. To be so baited, scorned, and stormed at. Small joy have I in being England's queen.
But soft, here come my executioners. How now, my hardy, stout, resolved mates? Are you going to dispatch this thing?
We are, my lord. Come to the warrant, that we may be admitted where he is.
Well thought upon here, have it here about me. But sirs, be sudden in thy execution. For Clarence is well spoken, and may move your hearts to pity if you mark him.
For whose sake did I that ill deed? For Edward, for my brother, for his sake. He sends you not to murder me for this, for in that sin he is as deep as I. If you love my brother, hate not me, for I am his brother, and I love him well. If you are hired for meed, go back again, and I will send you to my brother Gloucester, who shall repay you better for my life than Edward will for tidings of my death.
You are deceived. Your brother Gloucester hates you.
Oh no, he loves me, and he holds me dear. Go you to him from me.
Come, you deceive yourself. 'Tis he that sends us to destroy you here.
It cannot be.
Make peace with God, my lord. You must die.
Have you that holy feeling in your souls to counsel me to make my peace with God? And art thou yet to thy own soul so blind that thou wilt war with God by murdering me?
What shall we do?
Relent! Save your souls!
Relent? No. 'Tis cowardly and womanish.
Not to relent is beastly, savage, devilish. My friend, I think I spy something.
Look behind you, my lord!
Take that!
My lord. Whoever journeys to the young prince, for God's sakes, not let us two stay at home. For by the way I'll sort occasion, to part the queen's proud kindreds from the prince.
My other self, my counsels, consistory, my oracle, my prophet, my dear cousin, I as a child shall go by thy direction. To Ludlow then, for we shall not stay behind.
Say, Uncle Gloucester, if our brothers come, where shall we sojourn until our coronation?
Where it thinks best unto your royal self. If I may counsel you some day or two, your highness shall repose you at the tower. Then where you please, and shall be thought most fit for your best health and recreation.
I do not like the tower of any place. Did Julius Caesar build this place?
Oh, he did, my lord, begin that place, which since succeeding ages have reedified.
Is it upon record, or else reported successively from age to age he built it?
Why, upon record, my gracious lord.
But say, my lord, it were not registered. Methinks the truth should live from age to age, as to retell to all posterity, even to the general all-ending day.
So wise, so young, they say, do ne'er live long.
What say you, uncle?
I say without character's fame lives long. How fares our cousin, noble lord of York?
I thank you, gentle uncle. Oh, my lord, you said the idle weeds are fast in growth. The prince, my brother, hath outgrown me far.
He hath indeed.
And therefore is he idle?
Oh, my fair cousin, I must not say so.
Then he is more beholding to you than I.
He may command me as my lord sovereign, but you have power in me as in a kinsman.
I pray you, uncle, give me your dagger.
My dagger, little cousin, with all my heart.
Beggar, brother?
Of my kind uncle that I know will give, and being but a toy, which is no grief to give.
A greater gift than that I'll give my cousin.
A greater gift? Oh, that's a sword to it.
Aye, gentle cousin, were it light enough.
Oh, then I'll see you'll part but with light gifts. In weightier things you'll say a beggar nay.
My lord, it is too weighty for your grace to wear.
I weigh it lightly were it heavier.
What? Will you have my weapon, little lord?
I would, that I might thank you as you call me.
How?
Little.
My lord of York will still be cross in talk. Uncle, your grace will bear with him.
You mean to bear me, not to bear with me. Uncle, my brother mocks both you and me, because I am little, like an ape. He thinks that you should bear me on your shoulders.
Oh, with what a sharp provided wit he reasons, to mitigate the scorn he gives his uncle. He prettily and aptly taunts himself. so cunning and so young is wonderful.
My lord, will it please you pass along? Myself and my cousin Buckingham will to your mother to entreat her to meet you at the tower and welcome you.
What, will you go into the tower, my lord?
My lord protector needs will have it so.
I shall not sleep in quiet at the tower.
Why? What should you fear?
Mary, my Uncle Clarence' angry ghost. Mother told me he was murdered there.
I fear no uncle's dead.
No, none that live, I hope.
And if they live, I hope I need not fear. But come, my lord, and with a heavy heart, thinking on them, go I unto the tower.
Commend me to Lord William.
Go effect this business soundly.
I could live us both, with all the heed I can.
Will we hear from you ere we sleep, Caseby?
You shall, my lord.
Now, my lord, what should we do if we perceive that William Lord Hastings does not yield to our complots?
Chop off his head.
Margaret, now thy heavy curse is lighted on poor Hastings' wretched head.
Come, come. Dispatch. The Duke would be at dinner. Make a short shrift. He longs to see your head.
Come, come. Dispatch. 'Tis bootless to exclaim.
Bloody Richard. Miserable England, I prophesy the fearfulest time to thee that ever wretched age hath looked upon. Come, lead me to the block. Bear him my head. They smile at me, who shortly shall be dead.
We heartily solicit your gracious self take you on the charge and kingly government of this your land. In this just cause come I to move your grace.
Do good, my lord. Your citizens entreat you.
Refuse not, mighty lord, this proffered love.
Make them joyful. Grant their lawful suit.
Why would you heap these cares on me? I am unfit for state and majesty. I do beseech you, take it not amiss. I cannot, nor I will not, yield to you.
If you refuse it, as in love and zeal, loath to depose a child, your brother's son, yet know whether you accept our suit or no. Your brother's son shall never reign our king, but we will plant some other in the throne to the disgrace and downfall of your house. And in this resolution here we leave you. Come, citizens, we will entreat no more.
Call them against me, Prince. Accept their suit. If you deny them, all the land will rue it.
Will you enforce me to a world of cares? We'll call him again. I'm not made of stones. But penetrable to you, your kind entreaties, albeit against my conscience and my soul. Cousin of Buckingham, sage and grave men, since you will buckle fortune on my back, to bear her burden where I will or no, I must be patient to endure in the load. For God doth know, and you may partly see how far I am from the desire of it.
God bless your grace. We see it and will say it.
In saying so, you will but say the truth.
Then I shall salute you with this royal title. Long live King Richard, England's royal king.
Amen.
Amen.
Tomorrow, might it please your grace to be crowned?
Even when you please, for you will have it so.
Well, tomorrow then, we will attend your grace.
God give your grace a happy and a joyful time of day.
As to you, good sister, whither away?
No further than the tower, and as I guess, upon the like devotion as yourself, to congratulate the gentle princes there.
Kind sister, thanks. We'll enter all together, and in good time how the lieutenant comes. Master Cates, we pray you by your leave, how doth the prince and my young son of York?
Right well, dear madam. By your patience, I may not suffer you to visit them. The king hath strictly charged the contrary.
The king? Who's that?
I mean the Lord protect them.
The Lord protect him from that kingly title. Hath he set bounds between their love and me? And their mother, who shall bar me from them?
Their aunt I am in all, and love their mother. Then bring me to their sights. I'll bear thy blame, and take thy office from thee on my peril.
No, madam. No, I may not leave it so. Bound by oath, and therefore pardon me.
Come, come, madam. You must straight to Westminster. There to be crowned Richard's royal queen.
Those that speak not to me, get thee gone.
Death and destruction dogs thee at thy heels. If thou wilt outstrip death, go cross the seas and live with Richmond from the reach of hell. Go, hide thee from this slaughterhouse, lest thou increase the number of the dead.
Full of wise care is this your counsel, madam. Take all the swift advantage of the hours. You shall have letters from me to Lord Richmond. Be not ta'en tardy by unwise delay. Come, madam, come. I in all haste was sent.
And I, with all unwillingness, will go. I would to God that the inclusive verge of golden metal that must round my brow were red-hot steel to sear me to the brains. Anointed let me be with deadly venom, and die ere men can say, God save the Queen.
Go, go. Poor heart, I envy not thy glory. To feed my humor, wish thyself no harm.
No? Why? When he that is my husband now came to me, as I followed Henry's corpse, when scarce the blood was well washed from his hands, which issued from my other angel husband, and that dear saint which then I weeping followed. And when I say I looked on Richard's face, this was my wish, be thou, quoth I, accursed for making me so young, so old a widow. And when thou wedst, let sorrow haunt thy bed, and be thy wife, if any be so mad, more miserable by the life of thee than thou hast made me by my dear Lord's death. Though ere I can repeat this curse again, within so small a time, my woman's heart grossly grew captive to his honey words, and proved the subject of mine own soul's curse, which hitherto have kept mine eyes from rest. For never yet 1 hour in his bed did I enjoy the golden dew of sleep, but with his timorous dreams was still awake. Besides, he hates me for my father Warg, and will no doubt shortly be rid of me.
For hard to do, I pity thy lamenting.
No more than with my soul I mourn for yours.
Farewell, a woeful welcome of glory.
Adieu, poor soul that takes thy leave of it.
Go thou to Richmond, good fortune guide thee. Go thou to Richard, and good angels tend thee. I to my grave, where peace and rest lie with me.
Stand on, Park. Cousin of Buckingham,
My gracious sovereign.
give me thy hand. Thus high, by thy advice and thy assistance, is King Richard seated. Is King Richard seated? Prince Edward still lives. Think now what I would speak.
Say on, my ever-loving lord.
Why, Buckingham, I say I would be king.
Why, so you are my thrice-renowned lord.
You're my king? 'Tis so. Edward lives.
True, noble prince.
To the consequence that he should still live, true, noble prince. Cousin, thou wast not wont to be so dull. Shall I be plain? I wish the bastard's dead, and I would have it suddenly performed. What sayest thou now? Speak suddenly, be brief.
Your grace may do your pleasure.
Thou dull ice, thy kindness freezes. Say, have I thy consent that they shall die?
Just give me some little breath. Some pause, dear lord, before I positively speak in this. I will resolve you herein presently.
Catesby! rumored abroad that Anne, my wife, is very grievous sick. I'll look to her being held within. Look how thou dreams. I say, give out! That Anne, my queen, is sick and like to die. About it, for it stands me much upon to stop all hopes whose growth may damage me. I must be married to my brother's daughter, or else my kingdom stands on brittle glass. Murder her brothers and then marry her. Unlikely way of gains, but I am so far in blood that sin will pluck on sin. Tear-falling pity dwells not in this eye. Is thy name Ratcliffe?
Radcliffe and your most obedient servant.
Art thou indeed?
Prove me, my gracious lord.
Darest thou conspire to kill a friend of mine?
Please you, but I rather kill two enemies.
Why, now thou hast it. Two deep enemies. Foes to my rest and my sleeps. Sweet sleeps disturbers are they that I would have. One. Ratcliffe. I mean those bastards in the tower.
Let me have free means to come to them, and I will soon rid you of the fear of them.
Thou sing sweet music. Ah, come hither. Go by this token. Rise and lend thine ear. There's no more, but so. Say it is done, and I will love thee, and prefer thee for it.
I'll dispatch it straight.
My lord, I have considered in my mind the late request that you did sound me in.
Well, let that rest.
My lord!
Aye! What's o'clock?
I am thus bold to put your grace in mind of what you've promised me.
But what's o'clock?
Upon the stroke of 10.
Well, let it strike.
Why, let it strike.
Is that like a jack? Thou keeps the stroke twixt thy begging in my meditation. Edward's sons, sleep in Abram's bosom. And Anne, my wife, has bid the world good night. How now, Lord Derby? What news?
None good, my liege, to please you with the hearing, nor none so bad, but may well be delivered.
How then? A riddle? Neither good nor bad? Why needst thou run a mile about when thou mayst tell thy tale the nearest way? Once more, what news?
Richmond is on the seas.
Then let him sink, and the seas be on him, white-livered renegade. What doth he there?
I know not, mighty sovereign, but by guess.
Well, as you guess.
He makes for England, here to claim the crown.
Is the seat empty? Sword unswung? Is the king dead? The empire unpossessed? What heir of York is alive but we? And who is England's king but mighty York's heir? Tell me then, what doth he there?
As for that, my liege, I cannot guess.
The Duke of Buckingham is taken. That is the best news. That the Earl of Richmond is with a mighty power landed in Milford is colder tidings, yet they must be told.
Away to Salisbury, why we reason here a royal battle might be won and lost. Someone look to Buckingham be brought to Salisbury. The rest of you, march on with me.
Those in arms, my most loving friends, bruised beneath the yoke of tyranny, thus far into the bowels of the land, have we marched on without impediment. The wretched, bloody and usurping boar that spoiled your summer fields and fruitful vines, swills your blood like wash, and make his trough into your emboweled bosoms. This foul swine is now even in the center of this isle.
Put up our tent. Gentlemen, let's lack no discipline, make no delay, for Lord's tomorrow is a busy day. March on. Join boldly. Let us to it pell-mell, if not to heaven, then hand in hand to hell. Hark, I hear their drums. Fight, gentlemen of England. Fight boldly, yeomen, of that ancient word for bravery. O fair St. George. Let the spleens of fiery dragons inspire us. Upon them, victory sits in our helms. I think there be 6 Richmonds in the fields. 5 have I slain today. A horse!